Do you find yourself struggling to find peace amidst the storm of depression? Are you searching for ways to cultivate inner tranquility and balance in your life? In this video, we will explore 5 powerful ways to cope with depression through the lens of Buddhism. Lesson 1. Acknowledge your current situation. Depression can be a dark and lonely place, but recognizing that you are depressed is the first thing that can help you deal with it. Being mindful means being fully present and aware of your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings. This is something that Buddhism teaches us. It's easy to ignore or reject our feelings when we're sad, hoping that they will go away on their own. But this only makes our pain last longer. We need to be brave enough to face our sadness, admit that we are having a hard time, and ask for help. Mindfulness practice might be able to help with this. Close your eyes, find a comfy place to sit, and concentrate on your breath. When thoughts and feelings come up, notice them without judging them. Then, let them go and focus on your breath again. But what does it mean to be aware of what's going on? It means being aware of and okay with the fact that you are depressed. You need to know that sadness is a real medical condition and not a sign of weakness or a flaw in your character. It also means being aware of how your sadness is affecting your life. Depression can change every part of our lives, from our health and self-care to our relationships and jobs. Being aware of how your sadness is affecting your life can help you figure out what needs the most help and care. Realizing your present situation also means realizing the depressing thoughts and feelings that come with it. Thoughts that are bad and wrong about ourselves, our lives, and the world around us can happen when we are depressed. It can be very easy to believe these thoughts because they are so strong. We can fight these thoughts and feelings and get over them if we recognize them for what they are, signs of sadness. Keep in mind that recognizing your present position does not mean you are okay with it. Recognizing that you are depressed is not the same as giving up. It is the first step toward healing and getting better. Taking this step shows that you are in charge of your life and that you have the power to get help and make changes. The second step is to become more aware. Mindfulness meditation can help us be more aware of what's going on around us by letting us be fully present with our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings. That being said, we can practice awareness every day by just focusing on the present moment. For instance, pay attention to how the food tastes, feels, and smells while you eat it. Pay attention to how your feet feel on the ground and the sounds and sights around you as you walk. Pay attention to what someone says and how they say it when you're talking to them. The third step is to question ideas that are bad or wrong. Thoughts that are bad and wrong about ourselves, our lives, and the world around us can happen when we are depressed. It can be very easy to believe these thoughts because they are so strong. We can fight these thoughts and feelings and get over them if we recognize them for what they are, signs of sadness. Cognitive behavioral treatment, CBT, is one way to deal with bad and skewed thoughts. CBT is a type of treatment that helps us recognize and question our negative and skewed thoughts, as well as replace them with more healthy and accurate ones. If you are depressed, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can help a lot. You can do it with a doctor or by yourself. The fourth step is to be kind to yourself. We may be very hard on ourselves when we're depressed, and it's easy to think that we are to blame for our problems. But recognizing what's going on in our lives also means recognizing that we deserve love, kindness, and care from both other people and ourselves. Remembering that we are in the position we are in is not a one-time thing, but a process that goes on all the time. As we try to make our way through the complicated and hard territory of sadness, we may need to recognize and accept our problems over and over again. Lesson 2. Celebrate your hard work. Depression can make you think and feel bad all the time, and it can be hard to break out of the loop. One way to do this is to honor your hard work, no matter how small or unimportant it may seem. Buddhism teaches us that hard work and dedication are important in our spiritual lives. Work is the way to become pure, to get past sadness and weeping, to get rid of pain and grief, and to find the right road. When you put in effort and care, you take small, doable steps toward getting better and healing. A good meal, getting out of bed, or taking a shower could be all it takes. These may seem like small things, but for someone who is depressed, they can be huge steps forward. When you celebrate your hard work, you should recognize and value your accomplishments, no matter how small they may seem. It means being aware that you are moving forward, that you are healing and getting better, and that your efforts are not in vain. Gratitude means noticing and being thankful for the good things in our lives. It is a strong way to stop thinking negatively and a powerful way to find happiness and joy. Take a moment every day to think about and enjoy the things you are thankful for, such as your successes and progress in healing and getting better. Rewarding yourself is a way to celebrate and recognize what you've done well. It doesn't have to be something expensive or fancy. You could do something as easy as going for a walk in the park, eating your best food, or doing something you enjoy. To be successful, you need to do something that makes you happy and as a reward for your hard work. Sharing your accomplishments with other people is a great way to celebrate and recognize them. Building a support system of people who care about you and want you to improve and get better is another benefit. Pick someone you trust and feel good about going over your goals and success with them. Thinking about your progress is a good way to recognize and enjoy your successes. It also helps keep you going and motivated to keep improving and getting better. Every day, take a moment to think about your growth. List the things you've done well, the goals you've reached, and the problems you've solved. One way to celebrate your hard work is to do more than just recognize and appreciate your accomplishments. Self-compassion and self-kindness are also important ways to think about yourself. Depression can be a tough teacher who doesn't let you off the hook, and it's easy to get stuck in negative self-talk and harsh criticism of yourself. Self-compassion and self-kindness are very important in Buddhist spiritual practice. You can search the whole universe for someone who is more deserving of your love and affection than you are yourself. And that person is not to be found anywhere, Buddha said. You, more than anyone else in the universe, deserve love and affection. Self-compassion and self-kindness mean giving yourself the same love, care, and attention that you would give to a close friend or family member. It means letting your thoughts and emotions be known and accepted without criticizing or judging them. Realizing that you are not alone, that you deserve love and respect, and that you can grow and get better are all parts of this. It's very helpful to be kind and compassionate to yourself when you recognize and appreciate your hard work. It's a way to accept and value your accomplishments, no matter how small or unimportant they may seem. It helps build energy and desire to keep improving and getting better. Furthermore, it helps you understand that you are not alone, that you deserve love and respect, and that you have the power to be happy and fulfilled. Lesson 3. Accept the validity of your emotions. It can be easy to ignore our feelings when we are sad. We try to avoid thinking about them in the hopes that they will go away. In order to escape our pain, we might use bad ways to deal with it, like abusing drugs, eating too much, or spending too much money. But this only makes our pain last longer. It's important to be brave enough to feel our emotions, accept them without judging them, and pay attention to what they know to teach us. It's not always easy to do this, especially when our feelings are strong and overwhelming. But it's an important part of getting better. Mindfulness is the first thing that we need to do to accept that our feelings are real. Being fully present and aware of our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings is what mindfulness is all about. Being aware of our feelings lets us see them without getting caught up in them. For instance, if we're sad, we can accept it without judging it, and then pay attention to how it makes our bodies feel. We might feel like our throat is tight or our chest is heavy. When we pay attention to our feelings in this way, we give them space, which can make them feel less overwhelming. Self-compassion is the second thing we need to do to accept that our feelings are real. Self-compassion means being kind, understanding, and forgiving to yourself, especially when you are having a hard time. It's easy to judge ourselves, blame ourselves for our pain, and feel like we're not good enough when we are sad. But this only makes things worse for us. Self-compassion means letting ourselves know that we are having a hard time, being kind and encouraging to ourselves, and forgiving ourselves for any mistakes we may have made. To give an example, when we feel nervous, we can recognize it without judging it, and then tell ourselves nice things like, "You are strong, you can handle this," or "It's okay to feel anxious." It's a natural response to stress. You can make your feelings feel safer and more supported by practicing self-compassion in this way. This can help them feel less scary. Radical acceptance is the third step in understanding that our feelings are real. Radical acceptance means not trying to change or fight reality. It means just taking it as it is. As sad people, it's all too easy to fight against our pain and wish things were different. But this only makes things worse for us. This is what we need to do instead. Admit that we are hurting, accept that this is our reality right now, and give up control of the present moment. For instance, if we feel lost, we can recognize that feeling without judging it. Then we can practice total acceptance by telling ourselves, "This is my reality right now. I can't change it. I surrender to the present moment." Through this kind of bold acceptance, we can bring peace and calm to our feelings, which can help them feel less upsetting. It is important to remember that just because we accept that our feelings are real doesn't mean we should wallow in them or not do anything to ease our pain. It just means we should be aware of our feelings without judging them and be kind and compassionate to ourselves, especially when we are having a hard time. Buddhism tells us that all feelings are temporary, like clouds in the sky that come and go. By practicing radical acceptance, self-compassion, and awareness, we can give our feelings a sense of room, safety, and peace. This can make them feel less overwhelming and help us handle the complicated world of sadness with grace and strength. Lesson 4. Be mindful of positive moments. When you're depressed, the world may seem dark and hopeless, with no joy, beauty, or reason to keep going. But the truth is that even when we are going through hard times, there are times when we feel good and remember how good the world and ourselves really are. Being mindful means being fully present and aware of your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings. This is something that Buddhism teaches us. Being aware helps us notice the little moments of happiness that we normally miss. These moments can lift our spirits and give us hope, even when we are going through hard times. The beautiful sights in nature are one of the best ways to feel good. Seeing a beautiful sunset, hearing birds singing, feeling the sun on our skin, and hearing the rustling of leaves in the wind are all positive things that can help us feel better. Going for a walk in the woods, sitting in a park, or even just staring out the window at the beautiful world can help us feel better when we're sad. Kindness from other people is another source of happiness. It is easy to focus on the bad things in our lives when we are feeling down, making us feel alone and without support. But the truth is that there are people who care about us and want to assist and back us up. It's easy to miss small acts of kindness when we're not paying attention. For example, a stranger's smile, a friend's hug, or a loved one's kind words. These times of happiness can help us remember that the world and ourselves are good by nature. You can feel good when you're grateful, and you can work on being grateful even when you're going through hard times. When we pay attention, we can see the things we're thankful for, like the roof over our heads, the food on our table, and the love of our family and friends. We can feel good and joyful even when we are going through hard times if we think about these things and take the time to enjoy and be thankful for them. When we are sad, it's easy to think about all the things we've done wrong and feel like we are not good enough, or that we will never be able to reach our goals. But the truth is that we can all be great, and there are times in our lives when we reach our goals and feel the satisfaction of having done something great. When we are aware, we can notice and enjoy these times, like when we finish a job, get good at a new skill, or reach a long-held goal. These times of happiness can help us remember how valuable we are and motivate us to keep going, even when things are hard. One of the best ways to become more mindful and aware in our daily lives is to practice mindfulness meditation. There is a way to calm the mind and become more aware of our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings. It is to close our eyes, sit comfortably, and focus on our breath. Regular mindfulness meditation helps us be more aware in our daily lives, so we can notice and enjoy the good things that happen that we normally wouldn't. You can feel good when you're grateful, and you can work on being grateful even when you're going through hard times. Keeping a gratitude book and writing down the things we are thankful for every day can help us feel good and joyful even when we are going through hard times. Our relationships with other people have a big effect on how we feel and think. We can have more happy times in our lives when we build good relationships with people who are kind, helpful, and encouraging. Spend some time building good relationships with people, like friends, family, and even people who share your beliefs. You could also join a support group or community of people who are going through the same thing. Some people find it easy to shut themselves off from the world and the things that make them happy when they are sad. However, doing things that make us happy, even when we are going through hard times, can be a great way to feel better and get inspired. So, do the things that make you happy, like reading a book, going for a walk, or spending time with someone you care about. It is easy to be harsh and critical of ourselves when we are sad. We tend to focus on our flaws and mistakes and think that we are not good enough. But the truth is that everyone has the power to be great, and everyone deserves to be treated with kindness and respect, even when they are angry or sad. You should be kind and understanding to yourself, and you should treat yourself with the same care and concern that you would show a loved one. As we become more aware of the good things in our lives, practice self-compassion, keep a gratitude journal, build positive relationships, and do things that make us happy, we can start to understand the complicated world of depression and create a life full of joy, peace, and fulfillment. Lesson 5. Engage in activities that bring you happiness. Doing things that make us happy is an important part of dealing with sadness. Some people find it hard to get motivated to do anything when they are sad, let alone do things that make them happy. However, it is very important to try to include things that make us happy in our daily lives. Being happy is not something we can find outside of ourselves, said Buddhism. Happiness is something we work on making ourselves. It's easier to deal with sadness when we do things that make us happy. These activities help us feel good and develop positive feelings. It is important to remember that doing things that make us happy does not mean we should avoid or ignore our bad feelings. Instead, it means we are actively working to feel good about ourselves and find happiness, which can help us deal with sadness. Buddhist teachings also tell us how important it is to be aware when we do things that make us happy. Being mindful means giving something your full attention and doing it without judging it or getting distracted. Being aware lets us fully enjoy the happiness and pleasure that an action brings us. While we're walking, for example, we can practice awareness by noticing how our feet feel on the ground, the sound of birds singing, the wind on our face, and the beauty of the world around us. When we give a task our full attention and participation, we can feel more joy and pleasure. Getting rid of standards is another important part of doing things that make us happy. We shouldn't do things with the hope that they will make us happy or get rid of our sadness. I think we should do things just because they make us happy and relieve our stress. Also, keep in mind that what makes us happy might change over time. Things that used to make us happy might not make us happy now. Being open to new situations and trying new things that might make us happy is important for this reason. Being grateful, being kind and caring, actively listening, and supporting others are all things that can help us build good relationships with others. These things not only help us build good relationships with other people, but they also help us feel good about ourselves. Taking part in things that help other people can also make us happy. Buddhism teaches us how important it is to help other people. Along with making the world a better place by helping others, we also feel better about ourselves when we do it. Volunteering our time and resources to a cause we care about, helping a friend or family member in need, or just doing small acts of kindness throughout the day are all things we can do to help others. Doing things that make us happy is an important part of dealing with sadness. We can feel better and deal with depression better if we do things that make us happy every day, practice mindfulness, let go of expectations, build positive relationships with others, and do things that help other people. Remember that we can't find happiness anywhere else. Instead, we have to work on making it happen within ourselves. When we do things that make us happy, we actively create good feelings and a sense of well-being that can help us deal with things like sadness. Using Buddhist ideas to help you deal with your sadness can be very helpful. You can find inner peace and acceptance by focusing on things like mindfulness, thankfulness, kindness, distance, and self-awareness. Remember that if you are depressed, you should get professional help. However, these techniques can help in addition to standard therapy.